Welcome, everyone, to Pizza Roundtable, part of the Pizza Club Network, where we host some of your favorite pizza personalities from all around the world. You're here with us tonight, like I said, for Pizza Roundtable, where we talk about some of the biggest pizza news of the week and give you a chance to weigh in on it. I'm your host, Will Dumas, and I'm joined tonight by my guest host, Jim Munford. Jim is both a cookbook author and a writing contributor for the media publication Inside Hook. Jim, what's going on? How are you doing, man?
Hey, good evening, Will. How are you, bud?
I'm doing great, my friend. How about you?
Good. Time to talk about pizza, I think.
Dude, let's do it. I'm really excited. There's a lot of articles tonight to talk about. I'll say that. It's been a busy pizza news week, especially with National Pizza Day coming up tomorrow. So, I mean, I guess we'll kind of start there. Jim, what do you
Yeah.
think, man? National Pizza Day? Is this just another of the pizza days that have come up, or is this one more meaningful to you in any sort of way?
I mean, the real National Pizza Day is the day after, right? It's the Super Bowl. So just combine them, right? Or move the Super Bowl to Saturday, which is probably another podcast. But I don't hate it, right? A lot of pizza is going to be consumed this weekend. So it's hard to hate on any day that celebrates pizza. But listen, it's Super Bowl weekend, right? Right?
With you there. I'm with you there. I feel like there's like the trifecta of days coming up, and I wouldn't have considered like Valentine's Day a pizza day, but there's a lot of pizza associated with it. I'll tell you that, especially with some of the items to talk about today. So maybe it's like the trifecta of pizza days all in a row, apparently.
Apparently, and yeah, I'll save my Valentine's Day comments for the articles. But
Fair, fair,
yeah,
fair.
turns out this who would have thought mid February was the time to eat pizza.
I agree. So let's share a couple first. This one out of USA Today. I thought this article did a good job of kind of like recapping, I'd say, a number of the specials that are kind of out there. So first one coming up, this one is the Domino's Perfect Combo Deal. 1989 is an ongoing deal ending after Super Bowl Sunday. You get two medium, one toppings, an order of 16 Parmesan bread bites, eight cinnamon bread twists, and a 2 liter of Coke. Now, 18 or 1989. Obviously, I think we all know what this could refer to. It is Ms. Taylor Swift herself. Obviously, what do you think about this play by Domino's on
Um,
the pricing for that?
ah, Brilliant, right? Listen, you might love or hate Taylor Swift, but she's got a lot of hype around her, right? With Super Bowl, it's brilliant. Just absolute. Whoever was doing it knew what they were doing, and for what it's worth, that's a pretty good price for all that.
I would agree on that one,
If your
actually.
local Domino's isn't slammed this week for all the trifecta, it's a good price. So it was brilliant marketing, right?
I'm with you on that one. I think we'll hear more about Taylor later on in the show today. That's for sure. The next special that they would capture, this one was a little unique. I don't know, this just seems a little gimmicky to me, but this is Papa John's Vegas style pizza. So the pizza chain is a special promotion for members of the Papa Rewards loyalty program to win a Vegas style pizza. That's style with a dollar sign, one that is quote unquote stuffed with cash. So you essentially go to the website, right? Sign up for the loyalty program, and you could win a pizza stuffed with $58,000 delivered via Venmo. So I'm not exactly sure how this comes stuffed, but I don't know about this one, man. This felt a little gimmicky to me, but what do you think?
It's a gimmicky, right? First off, I think Kesha owns the dollar sign S thing, so let's give her all rights. It's a gimmick, right? And I don't know. I think if you're gonna do it, deliver me the cash in a pizza box. Give me the reveal, right? Don't Venmo me, right? You're not paying for babysitting or drinks, right?
Fair
If you're
point.
gonna do it, commit to the bit. Papa John from me. If you're gonna do it, commit to the bit.
All right, that's fair, man. Listen, there's a couple other specials, obviously, that are out there. I think some off brand pizza, I would say. And I'm thinking about Chevy's Fresh Mex, who's doing a Mexican pizza special that day. So why not get in on it, right? Chuck E. Cheese is giving you
Yep.
like a bonus play. There's they're all value pack kind of things for the most part, right? Or kind of combinations like that.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, the one I would say that I thought was a bit left out was Little Caesars, which I thought, right, was an NFL sponsor. I thought there would have been a big promo,
Yeah.
but specifically here, US Today does note that there's no special, but the chain is having a slice and stick Super Bowl deal where you could win, some kind of side for participating. Just would have thought I would have thought Little Caesars would be hitting it hard, being
Hit
Super
hard,
Bowl
hard to the paint.
sponsor. Yeah, man. I don't know
Yeah,
about that one. Where you
odd.
guys
I
at?
mean, I and maybe just Little Caesars isn't a destination for Super Bowl, but yeah, you'd think do something, right? Give me rebundle something, Crazy Bread, somehow
Yeah,
fit Taylor
anything.
Swift into there or something, right? Give me a little effort, Little Caesars.
Seriously. Seriously, I agree. All right. Well, listen. Speaking of Miss Taylor, let's talk a little bit about her, and then I've got one more item to talk about in regards to some Pizza Day fun. But with the Super Bowl coming up, this article here highlighted by Forbes, I'll quote from it here. Taylor Swift has had a surprising influence on game day pizza orders. Now, Jim, I know this is hard to believe, but this one actually, there's data behind this. Okay,
Mhm.
so we're not just spitballing, throwing them out into thin air here. Okay, this is from the Slice Pizza Dough ordering app. If you've ever ordered from Slice.com,
Big
they've
deal.
come out and noted that the report, which gathers data from 20,000 pizza shop partners nationwide, found that pizza orders increased by 10.4% during Kansas City Chiefs games since the couple went public with their relationship. I don't think that's data that you can make up.
No. And there's probably a lot of socioeconomic factors with, but hey, right? It's true, more people are watching games, right? You probably have more household watching games instead of individuals. So, less division of duties. So I believe it. And listen, it's a thing. And just ride the wave, right? Right?
I'm with you on this. I mean, it's. I feel like it's a stretch. To be fair, I was listening to something the other day. They were talking about kind of, there's been a lot of chat, and we'll get off pizza for 10 seconds. A lot of chat about an uptick in NFL viewership that kind of ties in, but I think that might have been a bit of a trend for a while coming back. I don't know if we can attribute it all to Taylor and the Pizza Report, but Slice also did note that they did see a significant, like you kind of noted here, economic uptick, right, for the areas where the Eras tour was in general. So maybe just parlay it into pizza for it. I'm not sure, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I don't know. And just interesting. I think they'll study this phenomenon for years, right? Whatever aspect you're coming from, we come, it's one small slice of the pie, but it very 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 interesting. And hey, Super Bowl, it's pizza month, pizza everything. So I roll with it, right?
Why
It's
not?
interesting,
Why
right? It's
not?
it's fun to talk about, and there's at least slices have some data. 10%'s not nothing.
No, 10% significant. That's a significant uptake. And Slice is no joke, right? Like they noted here,
No
there's
joke.
20,000 pizzerias like that they're gathered data from. I bet you there's a larger even amount of pizzerias in their universe, but like it is a large platform to get pizza data from. So
Yeah.
um yeah, absolutely. All right, let's talk unique pizzas for a minute here. This one also quickly covered by Forbes. So let me share it. This was they highlighted 25 unique pizza styles to make if you are making pizzas at home on National Pizza Day, which is tomorrow. So throw a couple out there and get some of your opinions on them. And I'll highlight them because I know last week we were talking about one of these like new pescatarian Italian markets in New York City,
Yeah.
right? And we were talking about, hey, like how much more pizza is meat centric than like fish, right, or anything on the seafood in general. So the first one kind of up that Forbes highlighted as a unique one to make is the shrimp fra diavolo pizza. So Jim, have you dabbled in the shrimpy side of pizza, and what do you think about this one?
I tried like something like this once in the grill years ago. It did not work for me. But I understand. Let's say I understand the flavors, and we kind of talked about the heart of California style. A lot of these
Yeah.
are right. It's not the style; it's the heart, and taking other dishes and reappropriating them. And this is a perfect example. So, hey, I try it. Right. I don't know if the green olives play for me, but the rest I think is the flavors work. So I'd give it a shot, right? I mean, what
Okay.
do you think? What do you think?
Yeah, I can
shrimp
get down
pizza?
for it. I feel like for me, it's like one of those, and not even that shrimp's pricey, but it's like one of those like premium priced items a lot of times on stuff. And I'm just like, I don't know if I need that. I feel like if I'm gonna go out and get shrimp, I probably wanted something different, or I'm gonna just buy a pound of shrimp myself, make it at home, and just be like completely shrimp centric. Then a couple pieces on there. I don't know. That's my take on that one. I'm happy to give it a whirl, but it wouldn't be my go to.
Yeah, agreed. Especially since right, shrimp's a delicate flavor, so you have
Yeah,
to be very purposeful. And if you have like a good char in the dough or something, I feel like it could be lost, and it wouldn't be the star. Which again, if you're gonna pay whatever you're gonna pay for quality shrimp, I'd just rather go to town and have some pizza on the side, which still pretty
absolutely.
good. Yeah.
Absolutely, I'm with you there. All right, what do you think? I think this one could go your direction. This is a Southwest style pizza. When I saw this one, I thought I could see Jim dabbling and at least giving this one a whirl. What do you think, bro?
Yeah, I have a couple recipes for taco or Southwest pizzas. They're fun. I know the Quad Series area is kind of famous for doing
Yeah,
something like this. So, I mean, I love it. Right, the flavors really are there. You use a different cheese blend, and yeah, Southwest pizza is just fun. Just no other way to put it. Just fun.
all right, I'm with you there. What else they have? It was interesting. There was a Nashville hot pepperoni pizza. I feel like that Nashville hot style of is kind of getting adapted into everything. Do you get down with the spice like that, even if it's not just for pizza? Like, do you appreciate that Nashville style flavoring with the, for everyone reference, right? It's hot oil with the spices in it. It's kind of you got to dunk whatever you're gonna coat in it. It's a thing.
It's a thing. Yeah, there's a fine line. I've been to Habeas in Nashville. I've been to all of them. There's a fine line between blow your face off and a ton of flavor.
Yep.
I feel like pizza can hold on to the spice with all the other flavors that can mellow and play. So listen, hot honey, hot spices, play on pizza. I'm here for all of it. That said, I don't normally love chicken on pizza because it can get tough and it's kind of hard to pull off. Right, either
Okay.
right, you either have to pre-cook it and then it's hard, or so chicken's a little tough, but I'm here for the spice. Right, I mean, I'm the first guy. I'll grab the pepper shaker and just just coat the thing completely.
I'm with you. I'm with you there. Okay, I can get down for that, dude. This one I feel like is catching a lot of attention, at least as of lately. Maybe not particularly in the style of pie that's going to be presented in this picture, but I'm seeing, I know I've purposely been purchasing a lot of mortadella lately and burrata or uh, anything of this mix, man, or pistachios is the other one I was kind of thinking of that's going to kind of go together. And I feel like we've been seeing a lot of this. I don't know what this sesame seed crust thing is going on here, if that's going to be the perfect vessel for it. But what do you think about that combination in general there, Jim?
I love the combination. I had we were in Naples maybe 8 years ago. And I had pie almost exactly like this, but the crust was a true Neapolitan. Right, it was fluffier. It was. I feel like this would shatter. Right, this is more of a charcuterie pie.
Yep.
But I mean, right, the flavors play. They're classic. And again, I would almost call this kind of like a California. Right, take a classic flavor from someone else and put it on a pizza.
Absolutely. Speaking of California, I think I'll give an ode to one of my favorite California pies, which happened to just get covered here. This is the smoked salmon pizza from Spago by Wolfgang, a classic. I would say, have you ever tried this combination or been out there and ordered it? Or tell you the truth, you can also order it. Not to promote anyone. There's those like meal, like celebrity meal order kind of sites, or like you can order food from anywhere, or those kind of platforms, and this one's definitely on there because I ordered it. What do you think? What do you think about this combo?
I never
It's
had.
good. It's good.
I,
It's good.
I trust, right? I trust you. I trust everyone. I mean, this and barbecue chicken sparked the entire style. So I trust it. It's a lot. And if someone wanted to send me a package through that certain meal delivery, I'd try it. But I don't know if I'd have the stones to try this one at home. That's again a lot of pricey ingredients that can go real wrong.
There is on it. That's true. I will say though, it was good, man. I really enjoyed
So
it.
you had it in Spago. You did it
No,
proper.
I did
Oh,
it. I did it at
oh, you
home.
have delivered.
I haven't
Okay.
been there to try it before. I've just always seen it, and I was like, "Damn, I'm not going to be at Twago anytime soon." So let me spring for it. I got a gift certificate for the site, and I was like, "All right, here's what we're going with." It was good, man. I invited some neighbors over.
Nice. If that particular site wanted to sponsor a particular, live show every Thursday, I think we'd be happy to mention them by name.
I wouldn't disagree with that. All right, let's talk. Let's go to a news site. This one is, I think it's an ABC affiliate, which is WXYZ. This one happens to be out of Detroit. Although I'll note there was a lot of coverage on it, so don't be biased. Don't feel that we were biased from picking up the Detroit publication preaching about Detroit. This was everywhere, but I'm just selecting this one there. The headline reads here: Detroit style pizza tops national preferences on tops national preferences on National Pizza Day 2024. In a delicious twist of fate, Detroit style pizza has risen to the top of America's pizza preferences just in time for National Pizza Day 2024. So, dude, I know we've been talking about the rise of Detroit nonstop, but I don't know. Is this the time when anyone who didn't know about it is gonna pick it up and get to see it?
I kind of think so. And again, and now I live in Michigan, so this is not necessarily new to me. But I think people that may not order pizza as much are going to get in the groove in the next week. And everyone has a Detroit style now, and I think this might be a time where everyone's going to try it, and it's going to start really taking off even more. I think because I don't know, it's a great style. It's very filling. It's easy-ish to make if you bake it. So there's a lot of advantages for the pizzeria to make it. So I do think that this is kind of I believe it, right? That Detroits are going to have a moment, and I'd love to see the slice data on how many Detroits 3 years ago to this year. I bet it's like 20x. I mean, truly. What do you think?
I definitely think it's going to be up there. I see. Here's my only gripe: is I felt like earlier in the year it was like squares for the win, dude, everywhere, and I just keep hearing in the back of my mind this like New Haven, New Haven, people just chatting and shouting it out loud. They're starting to get a much louder scream. So I don't know if Detroit is gonna continue to blow up. I felt like it got picked up. Like I would say, like 2023 was, in my opinion, the year of Detroit. I could be completely off. And what do I mean, right? But like when all the chains replicate it, right? When you had like Domino's and then Pizza Hut had an offering, and these guys didn't have this before, right? As a style, and then they put it out there, like they had to keep up with it, right? I was like, damn, okay, like this is it. Not that it's becoming any less popular, but I'm just wondering if we see a new like somebody new emerge, like the New Haven style coming up.
Yeah, we're going to segue for a second. I agree, right? Detroit's probably going to hit its peak this year and probably wane. You think New Haven's going to be in next style? You think so?
I'm hearing the build for it, and I'll say like I think we've seen a lot of coverage. Like the Times just did, like, a New York Times just did like an expose on New Haven for the most part, right? And I feel like we've been seeing a lot of coverage coming in. So whether I think it's like new, unique, and you get picked up, I think it's just going to be in your face, right? And for people to kind of experiment and try. If they're going to completely fall in love with it as much as they would for something like Detroit, that's TBD. This is where we need that trend spotter job, right? We were talking about, where was that at Pizza Hut? We were talking about
well, there was Casey's, right?
Casey's was the officer, the chief officer,
chief officer, and I'm not still bitter. But yeah, the trend spotter, and it's interesting as someone who's probably more tuned into regional styles as anybody. I do see New Haven coming up because it's familiar, but not. I see the Sicilian 2.0 becoming a thing now, where the old school Sicilian's kind of gone and your grandma pie is kind of coming in, right? Behind the Detroit. So It'll be interesting. I can't wait to see, before next year's Super Bowl, what we're talking about, the big ads, what Pizza Hut and Totino's and everyone's launching. It's definitely going to be a new style, and it won't be Detroit. I hear you.
Fair. No, but I do think Detroit's it's beautiful looking pizza, right? And they're like, when you distinct the point of difference, right? And we'll leave it here. Like, in my opinion, is you can load so many toppings on it, and they can look so distinctly different and still be Detroit versus a New Haven pie. To me, is like, it's classic New Haven is New Haven, right? We're not all about the topping. Yes, we're not all about these intricate toppings, and people tend to love that too. So that's why Detroit still definitely has some room to grow, I would say. So I don't know, man. I'm torn. All right, well, listen,
it's definitely fun.
Agreed. It's fun thing. I'm happy to see the argument happen. Right. Let's see. Let's go. Let's see him go. One thing I think that is disputeless is this next creation that I want to share with you. So this one is out of New York. So it's two big known named like food businesses, right? I was going to say restaurants or eateries, or however I want to kind of refer to them, but it's H&H Bagels and Emmett's have come together to create a limited edition pizza bagel. Now, this picture doesn't do it justice. This one does. Like, this just looks great, dude. I would be so happy to eat this pizza bagel. Tell me, what do you think about it?
It's the greatest afternoon school snack that's ever existed, right? We all had the pizza bagels that were, this looks incredible. And having had each of the individual, institutions themselves,
yes,
this is just life-changing. You just know it, right?
I don't want to leave this picture. It just looks so good.
Get rid of my pictures, put that up there. I think we're better off. Just look how perfect, right? It's the cup and char pepperoni. It's the thin sliced, jalapenos. It looks like they've been either charred, or I don't think they're pickled. Right? You've definitely got the. I mean, it's flawless.
Dude, it looks beautiful.
Pizza bagels, nothing like it.
It looks so good. And I was struggling with, like, what do I call H&H? I was like, you know what I mean? Like, do I call them a restaurant, or like, I don't know how to refer to them. Yeah, deli, bagelria. I don't know what the actual, besides bagel store term would be for them there, but it's an institution, food institution. It's the way to go.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's talk a little bit more about pizza building, or maybe some of the ingredients that go behind it. And thankfully, Tasting Table was here for us this week. So, Jim, I'm gonna put this one in your direction, because I have a feeling you're gonna have an opinion on this, right? So the article this week out of Tasting Table is called "Is There Really a Difference Between Pizza Sauce and Marinara?" So, Jim, for anyone that's kind of new, perhaps in general to this, I have a feeling that there might be a difference, but I will give a nod to the article here. They're comparing that there are many different styles of sauces, right? Just in general, and for use in Italian cuisine. And this particular one, I think, could easily be confused for those outside of the pizza industry, or anyone kind of starting out, for sure. And I'll highlight here that one of the first things that they note, which I don't know if I entirely agree with, though, is pizza sauce is light and uncooked. I don't necessarily. Go ahead, man.
No, you feel me holding back, vibrating. Boy, you can use marinara for pizza sauce. I probably never would. Right? You either have the raw uncooked, the passata, which are some of your charred, northeastern. You've got the heavy cooked, like your Detroits, like your Sicilians, which are cooked with tomatoes and tomato paste. Marinara is, I classically think of, that's a pasta sauce, and that is heavy oil, right? It's generally long simmered. It's probably finished with some pasta water, but it's loose, right? You would almost never have something like that on pizza. I don't know of any style that has a marinara sauce on it. Could you use it? Yeah. I mean, you're 85% of the way there, but they are not. When you've talked to a purist, they're not really interchangeable outside of a homemade pizza bagel.
Yep, I'm with you there.
Right. So in the article, they're on, to their credit, they're on the fence a little bit, and they go back and forth. But yeah, I did vibrate when they said pizza sauce was not cooked, because that is not always true in many styles.
I wonder if that was just trying to put it in. Say to put it in like layman's terms, right, or something, or make it easy to follow. But I mean, if it's not not quite true, it's hard to put as a fact, right? Sometimes that's a little tough to place the fact name on something that perhaps might not be a fact. So that's why I put this one in your direction. You're welcome.
Yeah, I did. Again, funny, you could just feel me vibrating from 1,000 miles away. That I had some thoughts on this one.
All right. Well, listen. Let's keep figuring pizza out. And so this one, let's quote here from the Daily Meal. And I think this is a question that comes up a lot. And so I was intrigued to see someone covering it. This article is titled here, like I said, from the Daily Meal, "The Subtle Difference That Separates Flatbread from Pizza." And so we get a lot of, I think, especially a week or two ago when we were talking about kind of styles of pizza from all around the world, right? And we saw a ton of flatbreads associated with that, I would say, right? From different regions or countries that are quote unquote pizza, but maybe they were fall in the flatbread range. And kind of the idea I think they're kind of highlighting is that the flatbread essentially is just unleavened for the most part. And while a pizza it would have, I know they say yeast, but I think they essentially are implying the rise, right, or some kind of leavening agent in general, right, where we could maybe I'm associating commercial yeast, right, when we're saying yeast, but we could have sourdough,
Yeah.
right, or something else, some kind of agent to create levitation in our dough. But what do you think, man? Where do you fall on the fence with this?
Yeah, I think many restaurants have blurred the lines, but to me a flatbread is just that. It's like a naan. It's something that if it has yeast, it's not a long rise. It's something just to give it maybe something like a little baking soda to make it a little bit lighter. But a flatbread is just that. It's made to be a bread, where pizza is a very purposeful. It's risen, has a little bit different gluten structure, and the ingredients are different, right? A flatbread's going to have more fat most of the time. I have other things like dairy or yogurt. So I think the article does a nice job, even though they're used interchangeably sometimes.
Yeah,
They're again, like we talked about the other article, last week. It's just a different culture's pizza, different culture's appropriation. That said, you can do a lot of fun things with flatbreads, and naans and garlic and kind of
absolutely.
grill a naan and put some other things. So they can play well with each other, certainly.
Dude, I love naan bread. Like, absolutely love it. I dig it. Pita, I'm always down. They're very similar. They're not the same. But they are similar,
Not the same.
but I do love a good
Yeah.
flatbread.
Oh yeah. And there is something about it, right? The chew and just as an appetizer, right? It's a little fattier. It's goes great with a cocktail. Like they are. There's a reason they're so darn popular, is because they are.
Absolutely.
You can pack a lot of flavor into a little square that may not be as cheese heavy or as heavy as a slice of pizza.
Very fair. Um, all right. So since we're blurring the lines of
Let's
pizza
do it.
now, might as well keep it blurred, right? Because sometimes items like this fall off the pizza scale for me. This one captured here out of Pizza Marketplace. Heart-shaped pizza increases sales in weeks leading up to Valentine's Day. So, Jim, have you gotten a chance to have your heart-shaped pizza, or will you be ordering one in the next few days after Super Bowl?
So, cards on the table. Probably 14 years ago, I sent my now wife a heart shaped pizza, and surprised her at her apartment. So, heart shaped pizzas are kind of a tradition for me. They have a soft spot in my heart, no pun intended. But I understand there's a lot of problems with them, cooking and yield. But to me, like I said, soft spot. I think they're fun. I will be making one for my girls.
All right, all
What about?
right.
Come on, Will. Let play the other side of the fence. What you got?
I just feel as though, listen, how do you go about constructing this? Okay. Have you taken the pizza and like whittled away the sides to do this? Are you trying to roll the dough out and construct this when you're putting it in? Just feels to me like so gimmicky and cliche. Maybe I'm a love hater, dude. I don't know. Could be it, I guess.
And you're not wrong, right? They are hard to make. And like to me, if I'm gonna do thin, where I'm actually gonna roll out in a square or a rectangle, cut it in
Mhm.
half diagonally, and then turn it to make it, and then kind of seam it. And so there's
Okay.
actually a really easy way to do it if you're talking thin. But if you're talking just a normal risen pie, it's very difficult, and they don't cook evenly. You're going to get doughy at the crust and kind of burnt at the point. So listen, I understand they're problematic. I completely hear it, and your yield, you're going to lose about 30%, right? Math. So I understand all the things, but again, tradition in my family, so
That's
we're gonna do
okay.
it, and you'll
I like the
just be a love
technique.
hater.
I like the technique though. So square, fold it, trim, and then unfold it. Like you're making a design for something that you're hanging, right? Or not origami. I'm looking for the word. You're crafting something now, right?
That's exactly where I got the idea of, my daughter's, at the time, daycare where they make the paper hearts. That's absolutely where I got the idea.
All right.
Inspiration come anywhere.
Maybe I'll get down with it then. Fine. Well, listen. Speaking of love and breaking, or being a love hater, this Valentine's Day, you will not be in need of finding a way to either find love or get away from love. So the first offering up here today, this one is from the Daily Hive. This is out of a restaurant called Pizza in Canada. And we talked about them sometimes before. So Pizza is offering third wheels free pizza this Valentine's Day. So if you come in with a couple and you are the third wheel, you get a free medium pizza for participating.
It's lovely. Just what a Canadian thing to do, right? Have a free pizza, probably some Tim Hortons. Watch the hockey. It's nice. Just I like it. It's a gimmick, right? But it's fun. Not hurting anybody. Probably.
I agree.
It might be.
I agree. Listen, if everyone, as long as the third wheel is known before they show up there, I think then that's okay. If it goes the other direction, it could be more interesting. But speaking that direction, actually, Jim, let's go there. So this one covered by this one by PMQ. And so headline here: breaking up is not so hard to do with V-Day pies from Pizza Hut. The number 2 pizza brand is billing its hot honey goodbye pies as spicy news delivered sweetly. So Pizza Hut announced a Valentine's Day offering, goodbye pies, limited time hot honey pizza meant to help people break up with their significant other. So apparently, if you are in one of the regions here, which I think are New York City, Chicago, and Miami, you can essentially send this pie to someone with a breakup note included with it.
Will, there's some pretty terrible ways to be broken up with. I don't know what I in one hand, you do it via note, someone else doing it. On the other hand, you get dinner, but that dinner is super spicy that you may or may not be able to eat. So there's a lot of layers to this that I'm confused why Pizza Hut's opening themselves up to such liability or such scrutiny. So let's say you're 17-year-old Will. You're breaking up with some poor girl. Are you sending her a hot honey pizza?
I am not, but maybe I wasn't. I'll say that. Maybe this is the thing to do now. Who knows with the kids nowadays, man? I can't tell you what, but I will highlight. I didn't even mention. Listen, when you do get this breakup note sent along to you, there's a link with a gift card for your future ex to redeem a free hot honey pizza on top of it. So this is kind of like a twofer pizza deal then for them.
I think, Will, you should break up with me, here, and then maybe.
So I don't know how we could how you justify it. You know what I mean? If maybe it's just until time runs out or just that day. I don't know. It seems like a way to get a free pie, right? Though.
Yeah, absolutely. I've faked the breakup for less.
All right.
I'm not proud to say, but
you've heard it. You've heard it here first. We are breaking up. So Jim, you send me the pizza. Okay.
Oh, okay. That's how it's gonna work.
It's not you. It's me. It's not you.
No,
it's me.
Not you. It's me. Okay.
All right, so let's keep going. This one's exciting actually. So we haven't covered this before. The site is Racket MN, I believe out of Minnesota. And so I'm gonna say this thing is interesting, and I don't know a different way to put it. So there's a growing fleet of Twin City pizza buses. Yes, pizza buses, not a pizza truck. This is a pizza bus. Brick Oven Bus created the real, quote unquote, magic school bus. This thing looks pretty pretty badass. Let's get to a picture of seeing the inside of it. It's pretty well built out, and
Yeah.
apparently there's a fleet of 5 of these traveling around.
I love it, right? I mean, how fun. They look legit. I don't know how they're getting the permit to have that live fire in the back. Again, I'm not, certifying body, but that seems a little dangerous. But no,
I think they
think
have
it's
that
fun.
emergency. They have that emergency hatch up there. That's
Oh,
probably
oh
it,
yeah,
Jim.
that's
You
right.
know what I mean? Yeah.
The hatchet no one can have. Yeah, it's fun, right? What a brick oven. It's a evolution of the food truck. It's probably not hurting anybody, and I don't want a cold, Minnesota evening. I think it's fun.
Yeah. I think it looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like for the bus, like and the oven is no joke. Here, let's get a close up
That's
of
a
it.
yeah. If you get a good picture, like that is a legit brick fired oven they're hauling in the back of this thing.
Yeah.
This isn't some sort of microwave.
No. Agreed. And check this out. So I don't know why it's taking so long to load this image, but the fire is legit. That is here. Look at this thing, man. That is no joke.
That's it. No, and I can kind of see it, right? You pull up to a an event, you pull it out of like a brewery or something. Like this could be the move. I think this might catch on.
I like it, man. I think it's cool. Happy to I'm gonna try to follow them along on social media and find out a little bit more about them.
Good
But it
idea.
looks just cool, man. I dig it. It looks cool.
Yeah.
All right, more to come. More to come around this one.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
All right, so let's go back to another generalization here as we talked a little bit about flatbreads versus pizza, as we talked about marinara versus pizza sauce. Let's continue to figure out, Jim. Apparently, at least from Simply Recipes, and I say this a bit tongue in cheek, this is the only temperature you should bake your pizza at. So no variation. You just need one temperature. I'm being a little funny with that. Obviously, the article here does note in general that you're not going to be able to bake at 900 degrees at home for the most part, and so they actually did talk to and the author of this one was Sarah Haas out of Simply Recipes. She did talk with I think he's part of the team for Baking Steel, Andres Lagston, who noted that like maybe at home the ideal temperature could fall somewhere between 475 and 550 if possible. Sarah kind of highlights that. Listen, I think the golden standard for the most part is 500 degrees if you're able to get up to that point. Do you think it's a good general rule of thumb for many of the styles people may be trying to do at home?
Yeah. So, I think I mentioned I'm working on a pizza cookbook. I don't have a single pizza that's at 500. And I'll
Really?
tell you
Okay.
why. I do because, ovens cycle and they cycle a lot. And I actually did some pretty extensive tests. And when the higher you get, the more it's going to cycle and you're going to drop. And there's a certain point where the oven doesn't like running at 500 for some reason. A lot of commercial ovens, they run hot anyway, so even if you set at 500, you're probably closer to 550 just because they're not calibrated to run there, right? 98% of what you cook is at 350. That's where they're calibrated.
Fair.
So you don't have a high set of calibration, so you're going to overshoot 500 a lot, and there's a big difference. So to me, I'm 450, 475 because you're gonna overshoot that anyways for the calibration a lot of times. I try it in 4 different ovens, electric, gas. I actually put some science behind this. 500's not 500. 500's you're gonna swing between probably 450 and 550. That's a
big
difference.
Swing. Yeah.
At 550, certain things start to happen a little bit different if you're not ready. So that's why I back it off a little bit. An area where you calibrated a little bit more. 450, the swing was probably only about 50 degrees total, which is still a lot more than you think. But yeah, I don't have a single thing at 500. I always had bad results and did the math, and turns out this is why.
Science. All right. Nice, man. I appreciate the tip there. It's a good point. And Sarah does note in the article here in general, one of the best things she highlighted is get a thermometer for your oven. Hang it in there. Don't rely on the digital gauge because to the point that it is cycling, just as you're kind of noting. So get a thermometer and get a baking stone or steel. The recommendations there to kind of help you kind of get some consistent temperature. But interesting, Jim. Nothing at 500, man. Okay. Wow.
Not a single one. And a lot of ovens also have a cap, right? Just for safety reasons. So they won't get over 500. So you'll actually probably only cycle at 450 anyways, even if you set it at 500. So it's almost like a false reading, or it's peace of mind, but you're actually not going to get that any hotter. The more you know.
Okay. All right. Hey, the more you know. Look at that, man. All right. All right, we got a couple more to get through, so I'm gonna go through these a little fast, just because there's so much pizza news this week, man. It's crazy. So this one coming up here from the New York Post, personal trainer at Domino's. I ate Domino's pizza every day for a month and still shed 13 pounds, and here's how. This is the classic New York Post story, just picking it up because it said pizza, but in general, kind of the trainer here saying, hey, calories in, calories out, doesn't matter what they are, as long as you're essentially running a deficit, it is what it is. So, Jim, I guess I'm just telling you, man, feel free to continue to eat pizza. You can still drop 13 pounds whenever you want to, dude. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, that wasn't good. And I've actually printed this out. It's on my fridge now, and my exercise bike, so I'm good to go.
I love it. All right, let's talk New York City for a couple minutes. Two notable items that I want to highlight here this week. Both of them, one closer to home here. Let's see if I can share this real quick. Hold on, share my screen. Yes. Okay. This one is a pizza out of Jackson Heights. It's a Mexican pizzeria debuts in Jackson Heights. I just want you to take a look at this pizza because I think it just looks delicious. This is like the drum roll. Where is it? Where is it? This just looks good to me. Very unique, cool. Very unique, very cool. Right? Not your classic pizza in any sort of way, but just distinctively hybrid taco / pizza kind of, but not like the cliche taco pizza. This just looks cool to me. I would love to have a slice and give it a whirl.
I demolish that. And they've got the swirl, so they know, right? The swirl's a thing. And listen, that looks really good. It's packed veggies, right? It's a hybrid. It's a big tostada. It's a pizza. It's a flatbread. I'm with you. It's very well styled. And it's going to be very bright and fresh. So here for it.
Absolutely. That's exactly what I'm thinking about it. And then that spot, guys, in general is El Mercadito Mexicano is the name of that one coming up. All right. Next up, one of the pizzerias particularly that I like myself. So this one's out of Eater. I think we've talked about them a little bit. I also just think they don't get as much credit as they are due. We were talking about a week or two ago, actually. This was the one about the owner who was putting out all the trash cans around and cleaning up all the trash associated with the pizzeria. But the pizzeria in general is called Fini. Fini. So they actually had a back room that someone particularly here may have stumbled into before, not myself, but maybe someone else from the Pizza Club that was like, what are you doing with this space and whatnot? But apparently for Eater, there's a hidden red sauce restaurant in the back of this slate shop. So this is their Williamsburg location, where there's essentially an 18-seat restaurant in the back of the shop that they're going to be doing just Sunday dinners essentially out of, where there's going to be a 4:30 and a 7:30 seating for it. And dude, I just I love this pizza. I can't tell you anything about it. It's just delicious. So I can only imagine kind of what they're going to put together operating as a real restaurant back there. But I'll say the menu lists classics like zuppa de mussels, veal parmesan, Caesar salad, and a black bass or tartufo, and Italian ices for desserts. So sounds like you hit some of the classics.
How perfect, right? To do the Sunday supper. They're hitting, they're hitting the classics, get a slice to go. Here for it. And I've heard great things, so it's definitely on my list next time I'm in that area.
It is a must stop to check out in New York. That is for sure. All right, let's talk a couple recipe items. Actually, I think that I came across this week that were interesting, and these are, I'll call them pizza adjacent for the most part here, but maybe it could be a fun game day food or something to do, right? So this was a recipe here for easy air fryer pizza rolls made from scratch. I don't know. This one is from East Idaho News. The made from scratch one's a little bit of a stretch here for me, but I'm happy to do some kind of this is almost like a pizza egg roll thing to me is kind of where I found it a little intriguing. The made from scratch component is a little tough for me when we start with egg roll wraps, but I appreciate where they're going with that in here in general. But
Yeah.
Seems like a fun thing you could do at home quickly, right?
Fun. Do it with your kids, right? Safe. Egg roll wrappers are one of the unsung heroes of a kitchen. You can do a lot more than just egg rolls. So here for it. Homemade's a stretch, but it's fun, right? Listen, you put 20 in front of me, I bet we demolish them.
I'm with you on that one. So, and I like your highlighting the use particularly of the egg roll wrapper, Jim, because the next one that we're talking about as well, this one from a site, this was covered by VGN TV, and this is Dean Cooks, and it's he's making pepperoni mini pizza puffs. But the one I wanted to highlight more were these wonton pizza cups. I don't yet know how I feel about these, but they're just, it looks like Jim, basically wonton wrappers in a muffin tin. You spray them, you add sauce, Italian seasoning, mozzarella, um, and whatever topping. I don't know if I was gonna love the outcome of like eating this just the way it looks. What do you think?
Yeah, so I do something like this with buffalo chicken. This is one of my
Sure.
go-tos for the Super Bowl. The thing is, you have to almost do the wonton by itself, then fill it because it will get soggy in the middle. Regardless, you could put as much oil as you can. I love the concept. It's a great vessel. It's a great appetizer.
Sure.
I think the process, at least for me, is you bake them, you have the shell, you fill the shell with warm stuff, you go. But it's fun, right? Again, it's crispy, it's handheld, good for kids, good for parties. So I'm not gonna hate on not pizza, but pizza flavors, which is still fun.
Do they get too crispy on like the edges? That would be like the gripe I would be thinking about for them.
And that's why you got to kind of par bake them by themselves. So you
Okay.
make sure they don't get too crispy because you're right. You put the stuff in, you're going to be raw on the bottom and burnt on the top, in my
Okay.
experience.
Okay. All right. That makes sense then. Okay. I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
yeah,
You
yeah.
got all the you got all the tips today, dude.
Oh, this
Um,
I'm full of them, full of it.
all right, we got last two, and this one out of PMQ, and this is a style like I'm not familiar
Love
with
this.
at all. So, the article reads, like I said, from PMQ: if you like room temperature pizza, then scacciata, is that the? I'm not sure if I'm saying it the right way.
Yep, nailed it.
Scacciata is for you. Are you familiar with this style in any sort of way?
I am familiar. I have talked to many pizzerias who make it. I might have a recipe myself for
Ah,
it. So
awesome.
I'll just describe it. It is, imagine a Sicilian dough, but made like a challah bread. So it's egg. If you ever had good challah, right? It's very rich, very buttery. Um,
Mhm.
Imagine if you took that, you made a tomato pie out of it, right? So you've got that cooked sauce. It's got a little bit more. It's got onions, peppers, sometimes ground meat or ground sausage, and it's served room temperature. So it's kind of a mashup of a Philly tomato pie, challah bread, a Sicilian, and oh, by the way, it's Cuban. It's so, Will, I would tell you, it's so good. I ate probably that whole tray in about a day. It is, again, 'cause it's so soft, right? You expect it to be crisp, and it's just
Yep.
very, very soft, very, very rich but light. I will tell you, one of the best things I've ever had. Truly, I have recreated it at home. I came pretty close. I know you'll be able to find the recipe next spring, if you wanted to try it yourself. So awesome. Have you ever had anything like it?
No, I'm gonna put an even bigger close up of it. It looks delicious. I'm gonna say like over Christmas I was talking about like I made like one of those like cincone style pies when and I just
Very, yeah.
I'm getting into this like spongy texture. And it's not really the word I want to use because I'm always thinking more like you're thinking pizza like I need something crisp and airy, but like there's some kind of draw to it, man. Like it's just good. And you just want like I'm getting into that texture. It's underappreciated, I would say, from trying it as a style.
Yeah, and I want to tinker and do a dessert pizza with this because I think just the richness, I think that could be an absolute showstopper. But cool style. Love to see PMQ pick him up and give him some play, because it's fun. It's a very fun, very approachable style.
Okay. I like it, man.
Here for it.
It was fun. All right, and last one, just to shout out to a friend of ours who we didn't get to talk about last week. So
Have to
if
close with it.
if you're looking for some more pizza kind of fun, I'll call it right. Check these guys out. They are doing the pizza pod party, and that is with Alfred. Ooh, what happened there? Lost it. That is with Alfred and Arthur. Here we go. Sorry about that. And they're hosting a number of different like celebrity guests, and they're still talking about pizza. It is fun. It is a good time.
Yeah, sorry it took us a week to get to this. Arthur let us know, but yeah, look great. I mean, obviously, friends of the pod, some of the greatest pizza minds I've ever met. So it's a good pod. I listened to about 3, and that's one of them. So couldn't be more recommended.
Awesome. I agree. Always fun to hear. Always fun to hear different pizza perspectives, like in general, right? Absolutely.
You got it.
All right, Jim. Listen, on that note, man, let us know, dude. Where can people find you across social media?
Type in Jim Cook's Food Good wherever you consume your content. You'll run into me one way or another.
Awesome. I love it. All right. Listen, everyone else, thank you guys very much for listening to us tonight. And if you can please like and subscribe us, I Need Pizza Club on YouTube. Follow us. We're building pizza content out there. We're looking for it. Comment us. Give us your thoughts. We're always happy to hear. You got pizza news? Let us know. We're happy to talk about it, right? We love everything
Absolutely.
pizza. On that note.
Really
All
do.
right. Well, everyone, thanks guys for listening in, and check us back next week for another episode. Good night, everyone.
Thank you.
See ya.